Once again, it looked like it would be an every man for himself kind of day. There was no food in the cabinets and no food in the fridge, so we needed to buy something to eat, preferably something cheap. Luckily for us, we lived within walking distance of a very cheap Little Caesars. So my brother and I walked down the street to buy a box of hot and ready pizza from Little Caesars for just $5. This orange pizza box and the trips we took to get this pizza box had a surprising amount of significance in my life. Little Caesars was my family's go-to fast food place because it was cheap and nearby, so we went there about once a week. This may be because of the nostalgia associated with it, but to me, my local Little Caesars is one of the greatest places on earth. Many people criticize the quality of Little Caesars by saying the pizza tastes like cardboard or that it was never hot or ready, but I disagree. Holding that pizza while walking home felt like holding a box of molten hot lava. And to me, the pizza tasted great. The cost efficiency only made it taste even better. Its cheapness made it a staple in my household because even if money was tight, we always had at least $5 to buy some pizza. My walks to Little Caesars were so common that every trip is blended together in my memory. But all of them followed the same route. My brother and I would always walk past the houses that filled my neighborhood and hear the cars passing by on the pothole-filled street. We would then pass a damp, dingy alley next to Little Caesars and duck under the metal railing that guarded the walkway up to the establishment. After that, we would buy our pizza and walk back home. Aside from pizza, I ate a lot of what some people would consider struggle meals for dinner. This included cereal, boiled hot dogs, Spam, ramen noodles, and more. Sometimes I would just eat sleep for dinner. But out of all of the cheap delicacies that I consumed growing up, Little Caesars was undoubtedly my favorite. My parents would sometimes encourage me to eat these struggle meals, comparing it to the struggles that they faced in their childhoods. For example, my dad grew up in Cuba, and he told me that when he had no food, he would drink sugar water and go to sleep. So it's safe to say that I'm very blessed in comparison to how my parents used to live. My reliance on Little Caesars and other struggle meals also highlighted another important aspect of my life: money. My family's financial issues were the root cause of almost all of our arguments. And as I grew older, I became more and more aware of this fact. The issue only became even more apparent when I was accepted into Jesuit, where I was surrounded by people who were far wealthier than me. The school in general was a large step up from my previous school. The lunches were better, and the school was way bigger and nicer than any place I'd been to before. The wealth that was displayed by some of my classmates didn't make me feel mad, jealous, or sad, but it instead made me feel an emotion that I can only describe as feeling some type of way. It felt like the simplicity of my childhood, which came from a lack of money, was replaced with the complexity of the wealthy lifestyles that I was now exposed to. To me, the boxes of Little Caesars represent a level of simplicity that my life now lacks. Earlier in my childhood, even the simplest activities like eating pizza, drawing, or watching TV were filled with so much wonder and joy. But nowadays, there's so much more stress attached to every little thing that I do. Now I feel like there are higher expectations for me to succeed in school and get a well-paying job so that I won't have to eat those struggle meals. But I was happy eating struggle meals. The main lesson that I've learned from my trips to Little Caesars is to be happy with less. Many times I get caught up in wanting better things like better grades, more money, or more friends. But I need to be grateful for what I have now, because only then can I truly appreciate what I may have in the future. Thank you.